everybody, and welcome to another episode of That Podcast. Enjoy the show.
It's recording.
It's recording, so we're here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No intro, no music.
Nope.
I've learned.
Nope, but we have to know who's here. But it's the four usuals. Myself, Ryan Janke, Pastor DJ Luris, Sarah DeYoung, and Dana Mashevsky.
The band's back
Look,
together.
and she was ready
We're
to
on
roll.
top of it today.
All right.
Wow.
How long did I get to run that thing? 3 years, and I wasn't on time once.
Never.
And now Dana gets it, and she's Johnny on the spot.
Never
every
one
single
time. That's
That was
good.
kind of my shtick of not being on time.
It was.
Just not doing
It's the thing.
It's an ongoing bit. Never let a good bit die.
Nope,
Isn't that the saying?
that is true.
So, you called me
Yes.
this last weekend out of the blue. I'm with my son in my car.
You call him, but
And-
all we get is text messages?
Yeah.
I actually saw it on Facebook before Ryan messaged it.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it with my
Wow.
mom and dad.
So in my car, because my phone's connected to the car, whenever a call comes in, I can't just have it on my phone. It's immediately in the speakers in the car. So if there's anyone else in your car, does that happen to any of you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't have people in my car.
Well, yeah, okay. So Dana doesn't have people in her car.
Maybe
but
Arlo.
if you
You can
did,
hear my dog barking.
or if you had Arlo, would you say, like Ryan was like, hey, I'm like, hey Ryan, I'm in my car and my son is in the back seat.
So don't swear.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, why did I say that to Ryan? Ryan never swears. What could he possibly say? Did I think he was going to talk smack about my son? It's just like a reflex.
Don't talk about Dylan. He's in the car.
It
with
could
Yeah.
be the underlying of we know the dad jokes and the things that Ryan says. So maybe it's
I
not
mean,
so
I
much
wanna put
swearing.
brass.
You just don't want him. You don't want your son exposed to things like
Yeah,
that.
it's Ryan.
The other Ryan things.
Or maybe it was if you have horrible news.
Yeah.
Warn me ahead of time.
Well, it got me thinking, is this the new polite greeting?
Uh-huh.
Rather than, hello, talking on a phone, because it's a lot of times people put you immediately on speakerphone. It's like, hello, I'm in the car with this person.
Yep. I'd like to
Proceed.
know. Now you know who your audience is. It's all on you.
Yeah, that's right. Adjust your material accordingly.
Yep.
But so anyway, you said, hey, turn to KFGO.
Yep. I thought I needed
790.
I thought I needed to call my pastor.
Well, and so
But you were off the ride at that point.
Yeah.
No.
No, they were
Oh, you were
getting
going
on.
to go?
you were at the
Yes, it was
studio getting
live,
mic'd
wasn't
up,
it?
weren't you? You're like,
Yep,
I'm getting
no.
mic'd up. We're going to the fair, and I'm getting shot out of a cannon or something along those lines.
No, I was on my way there. I was on Main Avenue.
Okay.
And on my way to the fairgrounds where I rode the
So you were
slingshot.
driving while putting on a microphone?
No. They didn't put on the microphone until I got there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you called your pastor just in case things went south.
Yeah, to
you
let-
needed-
Cool
you
kosher
needed
to go
someone be like,
upstairs.
In fact, I think my words were, in case I'm not there on Sunday.
well, and I think I
We're
totally
going to need
failed.
somebody else to do communion.
I totally failed because I didn't respond as a pastor. I responded as a friend or a spectator. Like, are you going to eat anything that's deep fried beforehand? So you're going to blow some chunks when you
No.
go flying out of this
Oh,
thing?
no. Becky talked about that today, this morning?
Yeah, this morning.
Oh, I left the office because I was like, yep, that's not a visual I need.
What happened?
We were talking about your radio presentation on KFGO because of the slingshot. We were talking about it.
Yeah.
Like Ryan was on the radio. I said, yeah. And they have an ongoing bit
Uh-huh.
that I heard, and it's happened, I've heard it twice, where they said, our newsman, Ryan Janke, is going to do something. And they they love to have you do stuff. I've noticed. There's a different type of
Because
excitement.
the man doesn't say no.
Yes, but they said they're over by a certain spot, and I'll bet you there'll be Taylor Swift music playing. And I'm like,
they said
they have a bit, an ongoing bit going.
I didn't hear that because I was on the ride by then, evidently.
Well, yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
So, but they were coming over to see Ryan Janke.
That was good times. That was fun.
So talk about it. Tell us about it.
Well, so they strap you into this. It's a two-person little. I guess it would almost be like a porch swing, right? Except a little more molded for you. And
A porch swing doesn't have
Well, yeah, they add those on.
they add them onto the porch swing. And then, so you sit in there, they buckle you in, and then they put the bars over the top. And then they buckle the bars in, which was, I thought, a nice touch.
You know, they don't do that on the other rides. So it's,
You know that
They're
there's
really
a
about
reason
safety.
why
Yep.
the bars need to also be secure.
Yeah, the
Did you have to
bars.
sign a waiver before
I
you go on this
didn't.
one?
No, I was surprised. I didn't have to sign a waiver.
I think the waiver comes when you just buy the ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
well, I
it's a
just
part
see-
of the.
Yeah, this was part of my work. Maybe it would have been a workers' comp deal.
It would have, definitely. If you would have been shot out
How
of there.
great would have that been for them? Of
Oh,
like,
that'd have
oh
been-
yeah.
I would love to be the policy person who gets that.
I want to be
launched-
the person at like the hospital that's like, oh yeah, this is going under workers' comp, and
That-
he's just like in the ICU. They're like, what job does this man do?
They would probably refer back to the Gail Carlson workers'
Yes.
comp does not cover stupidity.
Yes. Well, and when
there
you
were two of us,
Did you
too.
get, while they were getting you buckled in, did suddenly church clap come on the radio?
Did you?
Get me out of here!
Also, the kids are in Chicago right now.
Yep.
The other night they did do the church clap.
Okay.
Drew let us know that no one got hurt.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything since.
Well, I
So-
hilariously heard, this is a side note, but just along the lines of Ryan. I was
More
watching
side
TikToks and somebody goes, do you want to see what it's like to experience an emergency room in Alaska? And I was like, no, I already heard that story.
I bet it was horror. Man, that was bad.
Anyway, back to the slingshot.
Oh yeah, so it was me and I was with Joel D from Y94. So
on.
yep, so they buckled me in and then they put the bars down and then they buckled the bars in. Now, one of the first things I check is, are these bars actually locked in? They didn't even wiggle. Like there usually
Oh,
you'll get
man.
like a little clunk 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 clunk. This was like solid. They're not moving. And then we sat there for a little bit, and then they charged up the machine. So I think they had to like stretch the bungee cords because you hear the machine. Brrrr. So I'm assuming that the bungee straps were getting tight so that when they pulled the lever,
Holy
you'd
moly.
launch. And then all of a sudden, he said, "You're not going to get a countdown. We're just going to let it go when it's time." And I was like, "Okay, sounds good." And you're hearing this, brrrr, and all of a sudden it goes, vroom. And I look over at Joldy and I said, "I think it's time." Just like that, bang. We were launched into orbit.
So what was? I've seen. It's like it's like you ever seen one of those balls on the end of a paddle?
Yep.
That's what I picture in my head. Is that what it's
Yeah.
like?
Well, so I've never been a ball on a paddle before,
Well-
but
That's not what you felt like?
you lean back in the chair and then
Do you lean back or does the force
Pull you
well,
back?
no, you
Or is it like
So
at a
you-
recline, kind of?
you sit in the chair and then when they're ready to go, yeah, they recline you
Oh, okay.
back. And then you sit there till it's all charged up. And then when it's time, they must, I don't know if they pull a lever, push a button, whatever they do, and you just shoot straight up into the air. And the coolest part was when, I don't know if it's right when you get to the top or just the millisecond when you drop down, but you're weightless. Just
Really?
really quick. Yep.
Just for a moment. But it's not just straight up and down. Doesn't it bounce
how
like
physics works.
around?
Up and down.
Up and
But
down?
it bounces up and down, but it's free spinning. So you might rotate, you might do forward somersault, backward somersault. I don't know.
Oh man. Is it,
And
anything
since
like,
it's-
is it anything like the teacups? Because the
No,
teacups get me every time.
No, because the teacups are spinny. I don't like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, me
No.
neither.
But
They
this-
get me every time.
Yeah.
How is that different?
Well,
Oh.
you like, I think the most was like 3 somersaults in a row, but it's not like you're going 100 miles an hour. It's just like you go around and around and around. It's not like
Yeah, you go
Yeah.
slow enough so physics won't like keep you in your seat.
Yeah.
You'll drop to your death if things go badly.
Sure. And then
That's all I think of.
Love it.
Yes.
and since it's flat here, you could see forever up
see
there.
Jamestown?
But just for like a split second.
Right. In that
No, we were
weightless
faced to
moment.
the south, Wapaton.
In that weightless moment where it's like,
Yeah.
peaceful. Oh no.
No, that's not peaceful.
Just that one little
was
moment
fun.
when you're up there and you're floating.
And then
So my stomach has caught up to me. Now let me leave it behind again.
so from the time that they released us until the time we were locked back in was 1 minute exactly.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Because, most of that was like coming back down to the ground.
So I want to say that the slingshot ride was different than other ticket rides. Don't you pay
Yeah,
more
it was
for it or something?
It was separate completely. Yeah, like it wasn't even on the midway. It was way up
Probably
to the
because you need a waiver.
Probably because they need some space for that projectile that can come out
For when the bodies hit the ground.
if you ate the deep fried.
You don't want them to hit the Ferris
At
wheel
the
on the
Red
way
River
down.
Valley Fair, like the Minnesota State Fair is famous for like everything is deep fried.
Yeah.
Deep fried
Yes.
on a stick, everything. Do they deep fry everything at the Red River Valley Fair too?
I don't know. I didn't eat anything.
I can't say the last
I
time.
know there's Oreos, deep fried Oreos, mini
Deep fried Oreo-
donuts.
Oh,
you got
there is.
cookies.
Haley won regular old Oreos, a sleeve of them, because she won the piglet race or something. Like her piglet won, so she got a sleeve of
Where did you try to get a piglet?
Oreos. Well, it was
You just pick one.
Yeah, you just
Oh.
pick one.
Okay.
And then she
Gambling's
got
legal at the Red River Valley Fair.
I
And
just
then she
wanted
got
to
a
know
pig-
that like, we
Oreos.
didn't like somehow acquire a piglet.
no, and then a pig nose.
In a game of chance.
Yep.
Speaking,
She got a
speaking
pig
of that,
nose.
Yeah, like a
Like a
one.
little
One you can put on.
on,
mask
Yep.
yeah.
almost.
So speaking of animals, for 2 weeks in a row now, I've had some pretty cool stuff going on.
No. Hard pass. Hard
Oh,
pass.
this
I
is
got-
a snake.
This is a blue-tongued skink, is what they
A
call it.
skink.
A
A
skink.
skink. Yeah, a blue.
Look at
it's
that.
a.
Look
Where
at
does that fall between like a lizard and
He's just like a little reptile.
I noticed you're
believe
wearing
they're of
the
the, like,
same
sound.
shirt in your
Yeah,
picture
the-
that you have on at
that
the
was
moment.
that was because
your dusty raspberry?
I held him this morning.
Oh, that was
so
this
there's
morning.
essence of skink in the room.
Yeah, he like so there was a lizard, the Red River Valley or the not the Red,
Red
River.
River Valley
I'm
Zoo.
sorry, the Chihinkapa Zoo.
Oh.
Excuse me. I had Red
thinking it
River
was
Valley
the-
Fair in my head.
Yes.
The Chihinkapa Zoo comes once a week, and they bring different
Why?
animals to be on the air and talk about the zoo.
Can you
Oh.
request that they bring that cute little orangutan with? They have orangutans, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
have one.
So do you do that segment? Are you like the next
No,
Jack
no,
Hanna?
no.
He's just-
No. I'm just there in the building.
Oh,
So this morning they had the blue-tongued skink, and he like snuggled into my arm a little bit.
really?
Yeah, I wanted to take him home.
The other day there was a puppy here that snuggled into my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week I got the boa.
Yeah, I saw that one. I didn't
Yeah, we
that,
can
no.
pass on
A
that.
boa wrapped
By the
around
way,
me.
I'm not putting these online for anybody that wants to see these. Too bad,
Okay.
so sad.
How did you feel about having a very powerful animal that at any moment could choose to strangle you
Honestly, I feel like the boa constrictor would not be as scary. As
So the
something that could bite me.
boa
as the skink?
as the what?
As
as a-
something that could bite me.
Oh, I looked it up. I looked it
A
up.
puppy can bite you, Dana.
That's true.
Different.
That
No,
puppy
it's
that's snuggled
not.
into you when it opens its jaws has those razor sharp, and puppy teeth are extra sharp. They're like,
But they're from a smaller mouth for the most part,
Yeah.
depending on the size of the puppy.
It most likely
then a-
won't
then
kill
a
me.
snake.
Well, they're not poisonous.
No,
There's a
the
boa.
the blue-tongued skink just has like it just crushes its food. It doesn't have little teeth.
Oh.
So, but he didn't try to
they're
bite me anyway. He was a nice little guy.
When you were holding the boa constrictor, did
Mm-hmm.
you feel like Britney Spears
No,
in Slave for You?
no.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because
We
that,
didn't have
Did
a
you give it a
single
try?
moment of
this
just
one
like,
wasn't yellow, and I had all my clothes on. No, but it was like 7 feet long, maybe. But if it was life or death, I could have got it off of my neck, because he was kind of around my neck. But any bigger than that one was, you're just supper at a certain point.
Oh,
I
sure.
think. Like-
You know,
So you
may
really
have
think that
thought-
you could have gotten him off if he was like, "I'm gonna strangle you now. You are now my food source."
I think so.
I have seen.
I don't know. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
I have seen the original and the live action version of Jungle Book, and if I know anything about boa constrictors, it's that they're going to hypnotize you by looking at
Yeah.
you
Oh,
and then slowly wrap you up until there's
Possibly
nothing
sounding
more
like
you can
either-
do. So
okay.
you may think you're in charge of what's going on, but no, sir.
The second those spiral
Especially
eyes
if it smells like
start.
Scarlett Johansson.
I will say that it was like wrapped kind of in a U around my neck for a little while. Not very long, but I felt it for like probably 2 hours. Like in my carotid artery area, I could feel it. Like,
Yeah.
this feels
Well, yeah,
weird.
the snake was like, here is my pressure point.
Yeah.
Let me just make a note of that.
Less than 8 pounds of pressure.
Yeah.
Lightly pressing, slowly
Of course he
pushing
knows
in
that.
will shut off the blood to your brain, and you will pass out
Yeah.
in under a few seconds.
Yep. Yeah.
So again, I
that's how they
ask
win.
you, if the snake,
That one I think I could. I could be completely wrong, but I felt like
There's only one way to find
Yeah.
out. Bring in the snake.
no, he was
so
a nice
Brian,
little
we
guy.
actually,
He was a nice little
a
guy.
nice little guy.
Like, like the
I
skink.
think little is not the right.
The skink,
Descriptor
the
here.
lizard was like, I don't know, maybe a foot long.
Wow.
He's a nice little guy. He snuggled
As long
into
as
me.
I don't have to feed them. That's where it gets me.
What are they like? Crickets and things? I don't know.
Yeah.
That wasn't covered in your Jack Hanna segment?
Yeah.
No,
What they
I just
get
went
fed?
in there to hold him and take the picture.
I hope you get a Jack Hanna segment. I hope this grows into something.
I see Ryan being more like, I can't think of the guy's name who was on Jimmy Fallon, who he used to just prank Jimmy Fallon with all of the animals that he would just
Right.
hate. He's like, why are you being mean to him? He's just a tarantula. He's fine.
Who was
What's his
that?
name?
I don't remember. Haley was the only of the four of us who did not hold a tarantula when we went to the Denver, the zoo down there, or the museum, whatever it was. But they had a tarantula that would crawl all over you. She wouldn't do it.
Wow.
I'm gonna need to leave.
Do you enjoy
now.
that stuff,
Jeff
or
Musil.
like they said? Does anyone want to hold
yes,
the
Jeff.
snake? And you're like, yes, please.
I'll do it.
Right
I went
away?
in there and volunteered. I was like, hey, I want to hold that thing.
That's
I feel like Jake Roberts.
I don't know how I would do with snakes, but I can tell you. I would
Yeah,
not
but
do this better.
his bowl was tranked. Was this one doped up?
No, I
No?
don't think so.
No,
His was doped up.
a lot. Yeah,
I
he's
didn't-
talked about it. Like they
Oh.
keep it very
Docile.
docile, well fed.
See, I was wondering. Well, I assumed he had to be well fed because, I mean, if that was not, Jake would have been food, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Sooner
'Cause
or
he had
later.
him with him everywhere he went.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine?
I just like watching Crikey, It's the Irwins.
Yeah.
Well, so we were talking earlier about this fine
It's a lie. He did lie
shirt
to you.
that you have on,
Don't
and we were
believe him.
trying to figure out the colors. So I know what I think it is, but what did you guys think the color of the shirt was?
I think it's Dusty Raspberry.
Dusty raspberry.
I think it's frostbite raspberry, like frozen raspberries that have just a little bit of frostbite on them.
So, so what's the difference between frosty raspberry and frostbite raspberry and dusty raspberry?
Gray undertones would be Dusty. White undertones. Maybe with a blue tint would be Frosty.
I think
You're
it's
talking to the two.
Yep. Design people in the room.
There's a very distinct difference in this color.
You see more than just the colors of the rainbow. I
Oh.
see. Yes,
And what did you call it earlier?
it's
Oh.
puce.
puce.
Puce
I didn't believe that was a color.
It's a
until
color.
Yeah, you showed
My
me.
great grandma's bathroom was puce.
looks just like your shirt.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Salmon.
No.
Salmon.
So
It's
salmon is
definitely
the
not
absolute
salmon.
wrong
It's not
color.
salmon. That's fine. I like it.
We're not saying you
no,
can't like it.
it's just a
We're
very different color than you usually wear.
It's also a little bit of a different material too.
Yeah.
It's very. I mean,
It's
it's a
the,
polo,
like-
but it's like just.
90s woven t-shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I
It's
like
just a very 90s, very 90s polo.
Yeah.
So I had to.
What is that shirt from? Is it from the 90s?
I have no idea.
I
have to find
I
out.
like it. That's something that would fit right in my wardrobe.
I have a blue one. I have a blue, actually one just like the color you're wearing.
Still
So
navy.
I very rarely
Called
buy
slate
clothes,
blue.
and my wife told me, and to quote Pastor Mark, I'm a kept man.
Okay.
My wife takes care of everything, and so
Okay.
she took me shopping.
All right.
And I'm going to let you know what she said to me, because I said, all right, let's go shopping. I need new clothes. We're hitting Kohl's. And she goes, no, we're not going to Kohl's. I said, all right.
JC
Tar-
Penney.
I guess we can splurge for Target. I'm down with Target. She's like, we're not going to Target. We're going to the mall. Fine. We go to the mall. Listen to
Ryan,
this.
your shirts are hand-me-downs. Like,
When I buy shirts, I get them from the Ark or the Boys Ranch.
VBS is around the corner, my friend.
Yeah.
It's shirt
you're
day.
just like, I got a new
I'm
shirt.
pumped.
And it's great. It'll go with everything.
FMSC, VBS, I'm covered. But we
We
go to
really
the mall.
do like supplement.
We
these
walk
wardrobe.
up to Lululemon.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked at her and I go, I'm not going in there.
Isn't that a
I go,
woman?
that's,
store?
that's a woman's
No.
that's a woman's yoga store.
Yeah.
At least the
No.
last time, hold on now. Last time I was in that store, and granted, it's probably been a couple of years, I bought a gift card, and it was all women yoga stuff. And I'm like, that's a lady store. I
wa-
can't go in there. Do you know what my wife told me?
Huh.
You're going in there.
It was only 6 months ago that I learned it was Lululemon and not Lululemon.
Right. And so I go into Lululemon.
No,
Yeah.
for real,
And I'm
for
telling
real.
you-
Yeah, for real, for real.
I
know-
always thought when you would say that you were just doing a bit again.
Why would I
This
be
is
doing
the
a
opposite version, though. Of I
Because
just
you're you.
recently learned sur la table is not sur la table. It's like a household store. I've been calling it Sur La Table forever.
I don't know what that is.
Sell Christmas ornaments.
Sounds French. Okay.
So we go into Lululemon, and I'm adamant that I'm embarrassed to be here. I got to turn in my man card when I leave, but I'm not going to try anything on.
I'm not gonna buy anything.
I'm not buying anything.
Right.
I'm stand my ground on
Yep.
this one. We're going to Fleet Farm.
Amen.
Where a man can shop in peace.
Yes. The man mall.
She walks through there and she grabs about 8 or 9 things.
Did you try their dress pants?
I tried their dress pants.
You tried them on?
I tried them on.
Of course
Did they change your life?
Wow.
You think his wife didn't say try this on?
I can protest as much as I want. That doesn't change the fact that I'm not gonna
Hand me your wallet so I can extract your man card.
listen to me. I tried on everything. Now here's the kicker. I
where that's from?
really like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that where that's from?
I'm actually wearing Lululemon right now, and
Really?
it's amazing how nice it is.
Yeah.
And I had to look at my wife, Ryan, and I had to say those words that every man has to say at one point or another. You were right, and I was wrong.
You're the
So,
best.
You're the best. I'm the worst. You're very good looking. I'm not attractive.
Man.
Yeah, so I'm all fabulous now.
Lululemon.
'Cause I'm pretty. I have Lululemon clothing.
Wow.
So still have my Target jeans on, which makes me feel better. But yeah,
Wow.
high budget. You in the Pew shirt and
Yep.
me wearing Lululemon. We're whole new world.
It's rare I buy a brand new shirt.
Of
It's usually from like the, thrift store somewhere.
course,
Yes.
hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
And when I get a shirt, I'll keep it for. I have shirts that I've had since I was 18.
Yep. I do too.
Yeah. As long as they fit. If they don't fit, then it's like, well, now I'm out of luck. But
Yep.
as long as they
I'm
fit.
sure I do too, but
I definitely don't.
The whole reason that I try to stay a certain weight
I
is
don't
because
know
I
if they
hate
fit
shopping.
me.
Yesterday I was wearing a shirt from
bags.
a place called
do
Kirk's
have one
Detour
on.
in Ashley. It was,
Okay.
it was a bar down there, and I got the shirt for free at Kirk's
Of course you did.
Detour.
I was like, wait a minute, I thought you said you don't buy any. Never
They've
mind.
been closed for like 15 years.
And you still. and
I
you
just
still-
wore the shirt yesterday.
for the first time.
Huh?
Yeah,
No.
it's just been sitting in
been
a closet.
sitting
No, I wear it regularly. It's a Gildan. You ever wear Gildan
Oh,
products?
yeah.
Those will last forever.
Yeah, totally.
No, killed it.
Gilded.
Gildan. You know the
Gildan.
one. Lululemon.
Lululemon, Gildan.
All right.
How do you say that restaurant that's like Qdoba, but it's named after a pepper? Starts with the C?
The other one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chili's?
No.
What are you talking about?
Like Qdoba. Function's kind of the same.
Yep. Different
What's the other
chain
one?
of it,
What's
though.
the other one?
Chidoba?
Nope.
What are they talking about?
Chipotle.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Just got to check.
Yeah.
Well, the E's at the end. Chipotle. And it's French.
I
Okay.
call it Chipotle.
Chipotle?
My dad says Chipotle.
Oh, yeah. A
For
lot
everything.
of people do.
I like your dad. That's the way it should sound.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of That Podcast. Don't forget that you can find us every Sunday morning at 9 and 10:30, either here at Atonement, 4601 South University Drive in Fargo, or online at atonement.live or atonementfargo.org. We also have a YouTube channel where you can find our services live or a wide variety of resources. Again, that's YouTube, atonement.live or atonementfargo.org. So for all of us here at Atonement, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another riveting episode of That Podcast.